It is a Wednesday, my dudes. And you know what that means. Yes, it's time once again to return to Neptune Park, where we can, at the moment, plant some trees, but that's not the focus of today's episode. But you know, it's kind of become tradition in this series almost to start each episode with some mundane bit of busy work that I couldn't really fit at the end of last video, because, you know, I always like to end videos like with the focus of that video being completed, and then it kind of ends at a nice little high note. So the beginning of all episodes inevitably always have some sort of mundane task. But you know, mundane task or not, I think this came out quite nicely, this little wooded area here. I wasn't quite sure what to do with this area of wasteland behind the rail blazer. What's it even called? Rage and the train station. I couldn't really fill the park with rides, A, because that would be a bit unrealistic, and also the fact that I didn't want to devastate the frame rate too much, although I can't imagine the big blue tower is going to be helping things there. But regardless, that's what that was. Another bit of work here as well. This area of the park here needs, you know, some sort of skeleton building around it, and then I can, you know, finish it off at some point. So it's kind of weird. Obviously, I've been playing this park a lot, obviously, so I'm used to kind of seeing this whole side of the park finished. It's kind of weird to see it in this barren, incomplete state. But yeah, I wasn't really sure what to do with it, and I didn't really give myself any favors by making the terrain so difficult to work with. I do end up refining this path system at some point. This is really just a placeholder path, just to give me a general sense of the layout. So, you know, when I get hit with a sense of inspiration, I can kind of, you know, in my headspace visualize this path and decide how I want to build off it. But it's very much a placeholder, like I said. The episode's focus really is going to be the thing we're about to start constructing here at this now newly formed junction in the path. It's a Venetian Carousel. And there it is there. I can't not look at this and think of the RCT2 carousel music. Is that, maybe it was in RCT1 as well, but they're doing da 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 da. Probably most of you haven't played. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but I still have that in my head whenever I see a Venetian Carousel. Regardless, it's a fairly simple layout, to be honest. It ended up taking quite a while, in much the same fashion as my other sort of 10-minute-ish episodes. I couldn't really... The thing I build after this is not really kind of short enough to add to the end of this episode. So again, it's a fairly short episode, unfortunately, but there will be some long ones. Oh, there'll be some long ones. The roller coasters that I've built 3 coasters since I made this carousel, and all 3 of those coasters are insanely detailed. One of them is full custom support, one is just a big hypercoaster that has ridiculous levels of smoothing and track finesse, and one's just a really, really detailed ride, again with mostly custom supports and lots of scenery around it. So those are going to be some good long episodes, and I'm pretty proud of how they turned out. But this episode, I couldn't really add any more footage to this without it becoming too long. Like, I don't want the episodes to be any longer than 20 minutes, ideally, aside from the odd exceptions like building the blue tower, which kind of needs to be longer than 20 minutes if I'm going to be able to show anything meaningful of that. So again, this is a shorter episode, unfortunately. I've been doing a lot of short videos on my channel recently. Obviously, Green Harvest has always been under 10 minutes, although I think this week's maybe over the 10-minute mark, which is how I quantify when a video is now a long video, not a short video. Well, I know why. It's because people get annoyed when I make a video that's exactly 10 minutes long, because they think, oh, you've just artificially lengthened it out to so you can put more ads on it. And, you know, first of all, even if that were true, what's wrong with wanting to earn money from my hard work? But it's not true, because, like, I'll put artistic merit over you know, money. But yeah, that's just how it turned out. If a video needs to be 10 minutes long, it needs to be 10 minutes long. I am sorry. But here we are. I know this is just, by the way, I know this is a vocal minority. Most of you guys are awesome. Well, you know, satisfactory. Let's not go too far. I'm joking, obviously. Here's the Venetian Carousel sign. The custom carousel sign in this game is pretty good, so I thought let's just build off that. So it'd be nice if there was a little bit more. I can't think of a good way to implement this well, but if you could build structures that would work around rotating pieces, have this whole thing be like a rotating billboard. I think the game Theme Park Studio, which is very niche and not a very good game, to be honest, in terms of its features. I mean, the roller coaster editor is better than Planet Coasters by a mile, but not many games are worse than Planet Coaster, aside from the old RCTs, obviously. I guess Parkitect's a bit restrictive as well, but Parkitect's trying to be RCT too, as it's not really designed to be ultra realistic. Like Planet Coaster. I know Planet Coaster is not trying to be realistic either, but, you know, more realistic than RCT3, for example. This is a bit of a weird tangent, but it'd be nice if I could make that whole sign rotate, but I can't. So just imagine it can. You know, usually use the power of imagination to imagine that thing can rotate. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I am very relaxed right now because I'm high as hell. No, I'm not. Because I've currently got my sofa pushed in front of my computer. Like on Sunday, I was at a little Sunday night, just chilling on the sofa. I don't have a TV, so I have my computer monitor. So I dragged my computer monitor all the way to the edge of my desk, and then put my TV in front of the desk, my sofa in front of the desk, and just chill out and just have a nice Netflix binge. And I've still got my sofa in front of the computer now, and my microphone boom arm is just long enough that I can sit here lying on my sofa, just dictating to you all. I can't really see the screen too well, but it doesn't matter. It's not like I ever really talk about the footage too much anyway. But I'm thinking about having a series like this where I sit on my sofa and just talk about life and just general, like a sort of vlogging series, because I know I'm kind of trying to escape KSP. Well, bad phrasing. Trying to branch out from KSP. Obviously, Planet Coaster, as you know, we've been doing this series for now, like a year, 2 years? Maybe 2 years? No, maybe 1 year, year and a half. We've been doing this series for a significant amount of time. Mirror Lake was a while ago now, and I did the Off the Hook episode for Planet Coaster way before then. So, I think it's been established that Planet Coaster is not by any means going to replace Kerbal Space Program, but is rather another kind of entity to help, establish my channel could do other things other than build rockets and SSTOs. Which admittedly, at KSP, I prefer KSP to Planet Coaster because it's just, I've got so many more fond memories to this game. And I love Planet Coaster as well, but again, weird tangent. What I'm trying to say with this complete string of nonsense is I'd like to kind of make other videos that aren't Kerbal Space Program, because I don't think it's good for a channel to just become so dedicated to a game that if the game folds, then your channel dies with it. I'd like to be able to branch out into other things. So I've been thinking of ways to do this. I thought maybe just, keep it simple. I've got a nice camera setup. I've got a good microphone. Maybe I could just create a little setup where I just sit on my sofa with the camera up and just do a little talk about things. Scott Manley's kind of done that, hasn't he? He kind of just sits in a chair or holds a phone camera up in a random area. Well, not a random area. It's an area subject that's mentioned in his video, but he shoots on location and just talks. It's very easy to edit, but also, it just helps you kind of establish yourself outside of the game that your channel is based on. So, with this very long and rambling point I'm trying to make is that I'm thinking of making a series something like Mondays with Matt, just because I like alliteration. It just spaces out well, because we've got Saturdays, we've got Kerbal Saturdays, Mondays with Matt, and Planet Coaster Wednesdays, my dudes. So, maybe it's just a series I've had an idea for. So maybe I could just talk about things like, behind the scenes of a YouTube channel. I know I still don't really consider myself a YouTuber, because I guess to most of you guys I probably seem like a big channel, but I don't consider myself a big channel. To me, a big channel is 500,000 plus, or at least a channel where you could live off the channel and not have to worry about having another job, which is not a stage I can see myself getting to for a very long time. But I could give behind the scenes insight into running a Discord server of 5,000 members, having a channel with over 100,000 subscribers, and just other things. Oh, here's a little jarring cut in the footage, by the way. Some of you remember the, I feel like I've said that wrong. I can't be bothered to go rewind and check though. In last week's episode, I said I forgot to add this sort of casing for the staircase for the entrance of the Enterprise ride. So I thought, let's just put it in here in this completely jarring, segmented place. It's not a great place to put it, but whatever. It's good enough. It's good enough for this series, the low standards that this series has, and I spent a long time fighting with the building pieces to get this corner rounded off. I think in the end I ended up abandoning it and just going with art pieces. But regardless, talking about Mondays with Matt again, it would just be a series where I talk about things like that, running a YouTube channel, or talk about eyes. Or I had a whole list I made, and I can't remember where I saved it, which is not a good sign. But just generally things you might not know about me, like my other hobbies. I'm a big fan of cubing, Rubik's cubing. I'm not a good speed cuber by all means. I think my personal best is 30 seconds, which is not fast by a lot of standards. But I think it's good. It's good, and I don't really have that much interest in learning to go any faster, to be honest, because I quite like doing it as a sort of anti-anxiety. I don't consider myself diagnosed with anxiety or depression or whatever, but it just helps you when you're feeling down or just nervous and just anxious about stuff in general. It's just nice to just sit there losing your mind, just solving the cube again and again. 30 seconds is a nice period of time to solve a cube. I feel like if I got any faster, it'd just be kind of done it. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. Maybe I should learn it again. But I prefer solving the bigger cubes anyway, because they're more relaxing. Anyway, this is a weird tangent. See, I'm very good at weird tangents and rambling about nonsense, which is why I think Mondays with Matt would be the perfect series for my channel. I know, some episodes I could dedicate to responding to not fan mail, but FAQs. Or I could do a whole behind the scenes video where I basically sit down in my chair at the beginning of a day and just create a Kerbal Space Program from start to finish and vlog the whole thing, so you can kind of see exactly what goes on behind the scenes for a Kerbal Space Program or Planet Coaster video. But Planet Coaster videos generally are much weirder in how they're made. I'll just create a whole bunch. I'll first of all just sit on Planet Coaster and just play for 50 hours, obviously not in one go, but I'll play there for 50 hours, get 50 hours of footage, then go back and record like lots of segments, and then I'll go back again and record commentaries at a later time. So it's a very broken up process, whereas Kerbal Space Program, where I generally just sit down and record a video and then sit down and like edit the video. But that's an idea. But that's for another time. This time is all about Planet Coaster. Another little overview shot of the Enterprise, although this is the exact same ending shot as last week's video, bar the fact that the staircase is completed. So let's just end this video on a shot of the Venetian Carousel, which was what most of this episode was dedicated to. Hope you enjoyed the way this came out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Planet Coaster series when it eventually drops, which will be next Wednesday. I don't know why there was any doubt there. On screen, there's a link to the full playlist, as well as a video specially chosen by YouTube's algorithm, picked just based on your view habits. And then obviously links to Twitter, Discord, Patreon, all of that are in the description as well. Have a great Wednesday, my dudes. And I will see you on Saturday for Green Harvest.